I'll go ahead and begin. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Susan Phillips, President of the Asian Chamber of Texas. Thank you all for joining us today with our Doing Business With seminar featuring our partners here with Dallas MWBE program, Dallas ISD, MWBE department, Miss Annie Partee, and Miss Cherrie Fisher from Parkland Hospital. Thank you both for coming today and just blessing us with your wisdom today, because we need, the Lord knows that we need some more economic development here, and thank the Lord that we are able to have that with you guys in your contracts that are opening up right now. So I want to go ahead and just give you guys some background on both of our speakers today, starting with Miss Annie Partee. Annie serves as the Director of Minority Women's Business Enterprise Department for the Dallas Independent School District. She has a background in MWBE purchasing, auditing, and contract compliance. Under her leadership, Dallas ISD is continuously recognized for its MWBE program efforts. She currently presides on the North Central Texas Regional Certification Agency Board of Directors. Welcome, Annie. Thank you for coming. And we also have Miss Cherrie Fisher. Cherrie serves as a program manager of, I'm sorry, my dog is stop it. Pardon me, is the program manager of inclusion and supplier diversity at Parkland Health and Hospital System. Ms. Fisher has worked in contract management for over 20 years and is responsible for managing Parkland's teams, goods and services, and professional services vendors. She will provide an overview of how MWBE firms can benefit from working with Parkland Health and Hospital System. Welcome, both of you, and thank you so much for being with us today. And Annie, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you.
Thank you. Certainly want to thank you very much for affording us this wonderful opportunity to talk about doing business with the Dallas Independent School District. It is an extreme honor. I have a presentation that I will share with you all today. So thank you again on behalf of Dallas ISD. We're certainly looking forward to this. To the Asian Chamber of Texas, it is our sincere privilege and honor to be here. And we would also like to thank each and every one of the attendees for coming out to just talk about doing business with the Dallas Independent School District. It's certainly a privilege and an opportunity to come in and talk about our wonderful organization. We have been working together for numerous years, and definitely our partnership has spanned many years. So thank you once again for the wonderful work that you do in support of Asian-owned businesses, as well as all of the MWBEs as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would like to begin by just sharing with you information regarding this renowned school district that we are all familiar with. The Dallas Independent School District. We are extremely proud of Dr. Michael Hinojosa. Under his leadership, we are growing to become the premier urban school district in the nation. We are also considered one of the nation's fastest and proven school districts. We have 230 schools, approximately 157,000 students. We are one of the largest employers in the city of Dallas, as well as we have a board adopted and approved Minority Women Business Enterprise program. And that is unique in school districts to have a program that is actually approved and established within our board policy. And pretty much our MWBE goal is to maximize, and I would like to reiterate, maximize the participation of minority and women-owned businesses in a legal and meaningful way in all aspects of the district's purchasing and contracting opportunity. Within that, the Board of Trustees, along with Dr. Michael Hinojosa, has structured our department so that we have independent reporting authority. We are now under the executive leadership of Mr. Leslie Williams. He has 40 years tenured within Dallas ISD. He is the Deputy Chief of Special Projects, and he came within our team, and one of the things that he has indicated and reiterate to us is that his vision for our department is to become the gold standard in the nation. These individuals, I am so proud and humbled to work with. We have covered a myriad of responsibilities and initiatives within Dallas ISD. You would notice that we have emphasis regarding bond funded activities, general operating, goods and services. We consist of a team of professionals, consultants, Dallas ISD employees, et cetera, et cetera. So this is the face behind Dallas ISD, and we're working very diligently to serve you. Let's talk a little bit about the MWBE program. I just have some general information based upon some of the discussions that I've had with Susan and Divya regarding what information they deem would be helpful to this wonderful group that we are speaking to today. And pretty much the board has MWBE goals, and it's numerical. They actually practice what they preach, they as well as inspect what they expect. We have 30% MWBE goals for goods, services, and construction, and 35% MWBE goal for professional services. We recognize the credible certification agencies within this region, as well as nationally. I will not read this all-inclusive list, but agencies such as the NCTRCA, Women's Business Council, DFW Minority Supplier Development Council, HUB, et cetera, et cetera. In addition to that, the district had implemented electronic bidding for some of our non-construction projects. We also are in the process of conducting an availability and disparity study, and I will share with you more information regarding today's presentation. The district includes a standard score of 20% towards any score or any procurement solicitation within Dallas ISD. And also we have implemented under the leadership of General Counsel, new MWBE initiatives. And it all goes back to ensuring and maximizing minority and women-owned companies in a legal and meaningful way. We are serious about our MWBE initiatives. Just to share with you, we now have new MWBE directions, leadership, program manuals. We also have a joint venture manual. We have a legal joint venture master agreement that took in consideration the community's input regarding having a document that would be meaningful for minority and women-owned companies. We also took another approach in looking at individuals and companies that were not really interested in joint venturing, but they want to have professional experiences. So we have a prime subcontractor team agreement. We have new forms. We've itemized those forms based upon the procurement type, goods and services, construction manager at risk. And also I'll just take a moment to reflect on our MWBE evaluation scoring criteria. If I was going to give you all a test today, I would ask you if Dallas ISD first and foremost had an MWBE program, if we had authority by the Board of Trustees, and also what makes us unique is that we have an MWBE evaluation scoring criteria. So when you want to provide a bid or a proposal to Dallas ISD, we're going to look at your MWBE plan, and it's going to be a score associated with that. We look at things such as MWBE enhancements. Are companies willing to go above and beyond to support minority and women-owned companies? What does that look like? Early release of retainage, breaking down contracts, fast release of payments, minute protege programs, et cetera, et cetera. MWBE references. Who has the companies or what companies have they worked with that were minority and women-owned companies? And they actually, we called each and every reference. We asked them questions. Are you an MWBE? Have you done work for this particular respondent? And what were your experiences like? Did they pay you? Were there any issues, et cetera, et cetera? In addition to that, we also look at a category that's dealing toward our prime vendors. We don't just have initiatives that support and drive subcontractor participation. Based upon the community's input and wisdom, we also have a component based upon prime. It's called leveling the playing field at the prime level. So we look at whether the company is a certified MWBE prime or a joint venture with a certified MWBE prime or a subcontractor teaming agreement with a certified MWBE prime. Also, we continue to support subcontractors as well. So then we look at companies that are willing to to work with certified subcontractors in meaningful ways, whether it would be a commercially useful function in support of the scope of work. And also we look at their MWBE plan. How do you plan to implement your MWBE strategies? Who would be the persons that have been identified within your company that has the authority to make sure that they're doing what the company said they should do? So we are very serious about our MWBE program within Dallas ISD. Next, as I indicated earlier, I just want to talk briefly about the availability and disparity study and the importance of this study, not only for Dallas ISD, but for the community as well. We hired one of the subject matter experts in the nation, a nationally recognized firm called Mason Tillman and Associates, who's also a certified MWBE. And they're working with some of the most compassionate, articulate, knowledgeable companies that are out there that have a compassion for ensuring the inclusion of MWBEs. That's the National Service Research, Reyes Consultant, the Burrell Group, and a law firm by the name of White and Wiggins. In addition to that, this particular study is going to give us the controlling legal precedent to implement our MWBE program in a legal and meaningful way. We're scheduled to be completed in May of 2021. And if you would like to know more information about this study, I have our website listed, or you can go directly to the study itself, which is dallasisdstudy.org. You are able to provide business testimonials, surveys, what has been your experiences with Dallas ISD MWBE program. It will give you a study overview, tell you about the consultant, Dallas ISD, as well as answer some of the FAQs. Many of you wanted to know about the Dallas ISD 2020 bond program. So I want to give a round of applause and thanks to each and every one of you and to the chamber as well for the support that you did on behalf of Dallas ISD in approving our bond program. I've indicated the website. We're updating that often and frequently to make sure that you are abreast of what's happening within the bond program. That is dallasisd.org/bond2020. Thank you, voters, for approving the largest bond program proposition in school district history. Also, that would include not just the physical structure of the buildings, but an update on technology as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And also to let you know that during the pandemic, Dallas ISD is still doing business. We're still renovating schools. We're still educating students. We're still working with our communities. So thank you. Our doors are continuously open to doing business. I would like to share with you how the district advertises. First and foremost, Dallas ISD website is a great place to go. Secondly, the commitment with the Asian Chamber of Texas to notify vendors regarding the upcoming business opportunities, training and workshops, et cetera, et cetera. We have a good working relationship with all of the chambers of commerce, contractor association, Dallas Morning News, minority publication, women-owned publication. We also have social media outlets as well, a Dallas ISD mobile app. So our desire is to get the word to you so that you can compete, not just compete, but win these Dallas ISD business opportunities. I wanted to share with you some of the list of opportunities that we have. And this website is updated several times a week due to the nature of the goods and services and the demands that we need to support Dallas ISD students. So this is just a list, but I also encourage you to go out to our website to look at those opportunities. We have everything from insurance, underwriters consortium, consulting services. We also have police canine training, uniforms, sanitation system services, et cetera, et cetera. So those are always opportunities, but this particular list could change tomorrow. So please go out there, register as a vendor with Dallas ISD by going to our website, put in your SIC codes or your NAICS codes or your commodity codes, and we'll send you notifications. Also, the chamber will send you notification as well. Next, I pretty much would like to also just kind of reiterate or do a quick recap on some of the things that we've shared today with you. MWBE goals, 30% for goods, services, and construction, 35% for bond-funded professional services. We have board policy CH local, which gives us the authority to implement effective MWBE program and policies and utilization and initiatives, and become a part of Dallas ISD winning MWBE team. The chamber has already joined us. Dallas ISD is here. We're ready to do business with you. The business community, thank you, thank you, thank you for making us the premier urban school district, as well as to remind you that we have a 20% MWBE score just based upon your MWBE plan. Quickly, I will share with you some information regarding a major conference that we have. This is an annual event that we have in conjunction with the Asian Chamber, as well as the Dallas Black, Greater Dallas Hispanic, the DFW Minority Supplier Development Council, City of Dallas, Dallas County, Greater Southwest Black Chamber of Commerce, etc. I can go on and on and on. We bring together strategic thinkers and partners, and we get together and say, how can we benefit through education and training to help our minority and women-owned companies? So we put together an event, and we have on April the 13th and 14th of this year, from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m., we're going to have our annual Knowledge is Power Conference. That's just one of the many conferences that we have. So please feel free to visit our website so that you can stay abreast of the many workshops that we have. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The chamber is always aware of what we're doing and partnering with us. And I want to take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for showing an interest in doing business with the Dallas Independent School District. We would not be as successful without you. Through the Asian Chamber, thank you for being a strategic partner. To Parkland, thank you so very much for partnering with us on numerous initiatives. We are hand in hand working together to ensure the inclusion of minority and women-owned companies, and to all of the minority and women-owned businesses. Thank you. Please give us a chance to do business with you. Again, it's all about doing business with. Thank you. Susan?
I was on mute. Love that. No, thank you, Annie. We appreciate it. And, you know, I can't say enough about the fact that our partners, I mean, Parkland and as well as DISD, have been in business during the COVID season and making sure that minority businesses have been given the opportunity to bid for these contracts. And I think it's so important to say how much you contribute to our community. So I want to say thank you. We're just exchanging thank yous, but it's such an important thing to recognize. So Cherrie, why don't you go ahead and take it from here?
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, Susan. And I would definitely would like to thank Annie and DISD for everything that they do. If you have an opportunity, I would suggest that you go out to their website. Number one, their procurement website and their MWBE website. They are second to none as far as the resources that they have, the amount of information that they share about their upcoming procurement opportunities. They even have information on, you know, past bids and who won those. I mean, we are trying to, Annie, we're trying to grow to get to where you are. So definitely appreciate it. I want to go ahead and get started talking about Parkland and how to do business with us. And so I am going to start with today's agenda. I'm going to talk about, you know, what we buy, who we are, what we buy, how to work with us, and then some of the certifications that we accept, and then some of the very same helpful resources that Annie used, we've got that as well, and then our contact information. And then I think at the end, Susan's going to open it up with some questions. So what do? Well, we work hand in hand with our contract negotiators. That's our version of the procurement group, to ensure that that there's transparency in the sourcing process. We want to ensure that our vendor pool reflects the community that we serve. And the Dallas-Fort Worth community obviously is made up of all different kinds of people. So we want to reflect that. And Annie kind of touched on that when she was talking about the disparity study and identifying what type of contractors exist and what services that they provide. And we want to remove any kind of barriers to entry as far as doing business with Parkland. And so why do we need supplier diversity? Well, definitely, to level the playing field, to provide opportunities for the community members of where we live and work, as opposed to, there are some things that we buy that maybe only a company in California provides, or maybe, like, for example, the Pfizer vaccine, I think, is produced in the state of Michigan. So that's one of those things that we can't source locally, but we like to try as much as we can to provide opportunities for local companies. So what do we buy? Well, we buy non-professional services, and I gave you some examples here, and then we also buy goods. And what I want to talk about here is, if you're on the call, I want you to ask the question, is there a match? Is there a match between, what we sell or what you sell and the services that we have? And that's the first first question. And then I want to kind of go into how we buy. We buy things with direct purchase, which means that, we put out a solicitation on our website and then you submit a bid. And then we also have what we call the MATOC process, which is, we have we use like 4 or 5 different contractors specifically for construction and architectural engineering services, if those are under $20 million. And we use those 4 or 5 contractors for a period of 5 years. And so what does that mean for you? Well, that means that you might not have an opportunity to work directly with us for those services if they're under that cost, but you can subcontract, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. So I want to make sure that we also use what we call the GPO service, the group purchasing organization. So the number one group purchasing organization we use is Vizient. And so if you have a particular good or service or a product, we don't procure it directly, we go through Vizient. And so I want to make sure that everyone has the contacts for those different, for the different ways that we buy, so that you can be successful. Because I know a lot of times companies might be looking on our website for a certain procurement opportunity. If it is a construction opportunity under $20 million, or an architectural engineering opportunity under $20 million, you're not going to see that. You're not going to see that opportunity come up on our website, because we use the MATOC process. And if it's a good or service that we procure through Vizient, you're not going to see it. So I want to make sure, in this presentation, and then we'll have another opportunity, where Vizient will come and talk, so you can understand how we buy, so you're not frustrated by not seeing opportunities. And so again, this just kind of clarifies, we do purchase construction goods and services, and then we have products and services. And then in the parentheses, I've got our MWBE goals, that we strive for in those different categories. So I talked a little bit earlier about GPO. What is a group purchasing organization? I kind of liken it to a Walmart, or a Sam's or a Costco. If we buy our products and services, I'm going to use, gloves or gowns as an example, through a group purchasing organization, then we're able to get a discount. We're able to get really, really good pricing. And so how that affects you, if you supply something that we buy through one of these group purchasing organizations, then we really encourage you to work with them directly. And one of the events that we've got coming up in June, and Susan, I'm going to make sure that you're aware of it, is we're Vizient is a group purchasing organization, and they work with other healthcare entities in addition to Parkland. They're going to have a huge event here in Dallas virtually where, they're going to have Parkland and some of the other healthcare industries talk about our opportunities. And they're also going to have some of their tier ones. So their tier ones will be there. And so that's an opportunity for our minority businesses to work with Vizient. And so I mentioned earlier a little bit about the MATOC contracts, which are multiple award task order contracts. I could not think of what that meant earlier on the slide. For construction services and architectural and engineering services, and I know, Susan, you mentioned you have several architects within your organization. What we do for contracts that are under $20 million, we kind of group those together. And then we send out an RFP, for, either construction companies or architects to bid on those. Well, for construction services, this was awarded in 2019. And I would invite your members to take a screenshot, even though we're going to provide the presentation, to take a screenshot of this. Because contacting these individuals will give your members an opportunity to possibly subcontract for construction services. So I'm just gonna leave this slide up for a minute, and then I'll go on to the architectural engineering one. Okay, so this is the same thing, but it's just for the architectural and engineering contract. So what if I were an AE firm, what would I do with this? Well, number one, I'd take a screenshot of this, and then I would mark on my calendar 2025 is the next time that this is up for bid. And then I'd step back a year, because before anything goes out for bid, there are all kinds of pre-bid meetings. There are all kinds of announcements letting people know this is coming up. And the second thing I would do is, I'd take a screenshot, and then I'd contact each one of these individuals on here to let them know what services I provide. Now, as another thing that's going on, another opportunity that's coming up is in April, and I believe it's April 8th, but Susan, I'll let you know about it. We are having a joint webinar with the City of Dallas, with Dallas Independent School District and Parkland. And what we're going to be talking, we as Parkland, we're going to actually have our MATOC vendors, a couple of architects, and a couple of construction contractors on talking about opportunities and how to do business with them. And so that is something that's coming up April 8th or 9th. So look for that, as something that you can sign up for. So how do you work with Parkland? So I talked about how you work with our group purchasing organization. I talked about how you might work with some of our MATOC vendors. We actually have posted on our website the opportunities, the RFPs, the RFQs that you can bid directly with us. And so what I would encourage all of your members to do is register with us. And so how you would do that is you would go on our website, you would click on the parklandhospital.com/vendors, and then you would see a screen, with the Parkland, and in the bottom left, you would see the simpler. Ignore that and go directly to the register as a supplier on the bottom right. And then you would be filling out information about your organization, and you'd also be putting in your NACE codes. And those are the codes that tell us, commodity codes that tell us what you do. And then that would help. Then we would send you solicitations that would apply to you. Now, we're not as sophisticated as DISD, so I'm going to tell you a little secret. If you put in the NACE code 99, you will get every solicitation. And what's good about that is I can't tell you if one of our procurement people or if one of our contract negotiators is going to put your exact NACE code on the solicitation, and so you might not get it. For example, if you provide gloves and the NACE code is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, you're not going to get it. But if you put 99 on your when you register with us, you'll get all of them. Another good thing about once you register on our website and you click on events, you can see all of the open solicitations, and you can see some past awards, and then you can also submit bids through that portal. So we're, like I said, Annie and DISD, they've got an excellent website. We are working right now to revise our website so it's more robust and it provides more information. But this is how you would register on our website for direct bids. And these are the certifications that we accept. Now, you might be asking, do I have to be certified to work with Parkland? No, you don't. Do you have to be certified to register on our website? No, you do not. Really, do you have to be certified to respond to our proposals or our RFPs or RFQs? No, you do not. The benefits of certification is, number one, I think it's a marketing tool for your businesses, for small businesses. It's something that gets your name out there, and it's something that if you were to partner with a prime, that's a benefit, because they're sometimes they're often looking for individuals that can help them with that minority participation piece. Now, how does certification help Parkland? Well, it allows us to count our diversity spend dollars. And as Annie was saying, it helps us to compile data because we are getting ready to go into the phase of creating a disparity study. So it really helps us in that way. So these are, like I said, these are the certifications that we accept. And I feel like it's a marketing tool for your company. And there are a lot of benefits to being certified. There are a lot of educational opportunities. And like Annie was mentioning, the fair that they're getting ready to have this spring, all of those things, you get notifications through some of these certification agencies. And these are additional helpful resources. These are all of the MWBE advocacy groups that we partner with. And then we've got chambers on the other slide, but you may want to take a screenshot of this as well. Not that you would have to, I think it's overwhelming, and Annie can probably chime in on this. It would be overwhelming to join all of these organizations, but I think it's helpful to at least have them register so you can have a mailing list so you can know what opportunities are coming up, what events are coming up. That's helpful. And then also the chambers. All of the chambers that we interface with are listed on this slide, and you may want to take a screenshot of that as well. Just a lot of information, a lot of worthwhile programming and webinars. And one thing that I like about your organization, Susan, is that you record past events, and then we can just go on your website and listen to those if we're not able to attend in person. And so I think that's great. And then lastly, this is our contact information. These are all of the individuals that work in the MWBE Inclusion and Supplier Diversity Group for Parkland. We're here to answer those questions. And I've got, like, by Benny Miller Jr.'s name, he's primarily construction. So anything construction and architectural engineering related, that's what Benny does. I primarily work on the clinical services side. So anything to do with Vizient or hospital equipment or goods and services, that's kind of what I do. Adriana manages our B2G Now database and all of that. And then Melissa primarily works with professional services, non-construction related professional services. So that is the end of my presentation, and I will turn it back over to you, Susan.
Thank you, Cherrie. Lots of really good information here. I do have a question for you. This is regarding MATOC. And maybe you already said this, but I think I skipped over or I didn't read the acronym. Is this MATOC? Is it just minority, it's not. It can be anybody. So my next question is, so let's say it is a minority-owned business that's on the MATOC list. If they, let's say, do they get extra points for using a subcontractor that is also a minority?
Yes, they do. Yes,
They
they
do.
do. Yes,
Okay.
they do.
So that is an added benefit. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I have a couple of questions for you, Cherrie, sorry.
Hope I can answer them.
Well, I mean, so can you tell me a little bit about the tier 2 opportunities for goods and services and construction?
So the tier 2 opportunities would be, for example, I'm so sorry. So for example, if we were building a building and it was $20 million or less, that would go to a MATOC vendor. So a tier 2 opportunity for that on the design side would be an architect. On the construction side might be earthwork, concrete, forming, painting, anything, furniture, anything that would go into constructing that building. Those are tier 2 opportunities on the construction side. And just think of it like our MATOC contractor would be a general contractor, and any subcontractor or specialty trade under that would be a tier 2 opportunity.
Okay, very good. And you've already mentioned Vizient as a group purchasing organization.
Yes.
What are there other group purchasing organizations that you use outside of Vizient?
There are other group purchasing organizations in the DFW area. However, we exclusively are using Vizient.
Vizient, okay, very good. And I have some questions for you too, Annie. So, are you ready? So as Cherrie has so eloquently pointed out how she's basically just wondering, I mean, just in awe of your website. So it's a very robust and very informative website, but there's an abundance of information, as she has already just, clarified with us. But how can we be more strategic and focused while viewing the district's website?
Oh, great question. Thanks for asking. I would recommend that you focus in on the procurement information. I know being a Asian Chamber of Texas with so many companies that you work for that's in your membership, they may be interested in other things. However, I would encourage them to go to the procurement website, and you can find that off of our main website, which is dallasisd.org. We have a link on there that says, I want to. And you click on the one that says, I want to do business with Dallas ISD. So then once you do that, you can go in and look at upcoming business opportunities. You can look at a current listing of the awarded vendors. You can open on that information and tell when a particular RFP or bid is going to expire. In most cases, 6 months prior to that expiration date, the district is going to be going out for a renewal of that particular bid or services. You will find the list of key contacts from the buyers, purchasing directors, your MWB team members. You can also have a link from the purchasing website directly to the MWB website and vice versa. And on our MWB website is where we have a list of all of the webinars, training, and workshops that are out there. We're also certified as a Google partner. So we also conduct Google workshops. So there's a lot of information. I would say focus on the procurement section and then just expand from there.
Very good. Now, where does Dallas ISD advertise their procurement related information, training and workshops?
Those are some great questions. I would say first and foremost, the Asian Chamber of Texas is a good place to get upcoming opportunities from Dallas ISD. Also, information on our website, again, dallasisd.org. We have a lot of pages or links on that major website, from the MWBE to the procurement. We also utilize social media. We have an MWBE mobile application. We also utilize Facebook, social media. Also, Dallas Morning News, Minority Chambers of Commerce, Oh, you name it. We try our best to get the word out there to the community.
You are everywhere. You can't miss you can't miss Dallas ISD MWBE department.
And we're looking for ways to even expand.
And yet, we're always looking for ways to engage our community and our members and our businesses with you guys. So can you tell us, and this is a question for both Cherrie and for Annie, and Cherrie, I'll ask it to you first. Now, do you guys have any new initiatives and changes, that have been implemented during COVID season?
So during COVID-19, we are, some of our staff is working from home just to keep everything safe, and we're being
Right.
socially distant. However, we are still, working as far as having contracts, and all of our procurement is going strong. I don't know that we have any new initiatives. Like I mentioned before, we are going to have a webinar, a co-sponsored webinar with Dallas ISD and the city of Dallas and Parkland. And that's going to be April 8th, talking about really bringing our MATOC. It's really called Meet the Buyers.
Right.
And so they'll be meeting buyers from Dallas ISD, from the city of Dallas.
Fantastic.
And then for us, they will be meeting those MATOC awardees, so they can figure out how to work into those tier 2 opportunities. So that's really the information that I've got as far as what's coming up.
Great. And you also mentioned Vizient having something in, is it April?
In June.
It's in June, not April. Yours is in April. Yes. Mhm.
Is a GPO for Parkland, but also they're a GPO for other healthcare entities in the Dallas area.
Right.
So they are having a huge conference, and I will make sure that you all get the word out on that as far as how to work with Parkland and other healthcare entities.
That's perfect. That's wonderful. That's great news. And a question again for Cherrie. What is the most effective way to market to Parkland?
That's a good question. I would say I would go back to kind of what I said a little bit earlier. Number one, make sure there's a match between what you're selling and what we're buying, number one. And then number two, understand how we buy what we're selling. Is there going to be a direct purchase? Is it through a MATOC? Like I said, if it's construction or architectural engineering and it's under $20 million, it probably will be issued via MATOC, although that's not always the case. Or is it something that our GPO Vizient purchases? So once you understand that, we can help you understand that, then you can go forward with the best way to work with us.
Perfect. And Annie, I have a question for you. Now, one of the things that small businesses should be doing is looking at how they can pivot their business to sometimes fit into something that is a bid that's out there, or an RFP that's out there. And do you offer training? I know your Knowledge is Power workshop, where we've been working on that with you. I think it would be a great idea for us to get some of these businesses out there to see how can we procure, we can do procurement, we can offer these types of services and products, but maybe if we add just something else to our product line, we'll be able to bid and get additional business. Do you guys do that kind of training as well?
Definitely. We're looking at that very intently on what we can do. Again, as you mentioned, that will be one of the component of our annual Knowledge is Power conference. So then we're going to look at ways to pivot, to continue to thrive within the pandemic, ways to build strategic partners as well. We'll also look at some business testimonials on companies that have actually implemented those strategies and have been successful. And of course, we're always open to doing more as working with our chambers. We would definitely look to yield to your expertise and guidance on what are some of the things that we can do to continue to work with you and help educate your MWBEs.
Thank you so much. And a question for both of you. What do you recommend? What is the first steps? Let's say somebody is starting to think about starting a business for themselves. what do you, what advice can you give this person that is looking to start a small business and they want to work with you? Let's just say that it is something like an architecture company that they're starting. Please tell me what would you recommend their first steps be?
Now, I would actually need to know a level of details. Do they already have the company started, or is it just a concept at this particular time? If it's just a concept, I would think it would be a time to engage their resources, engage the chambers, work with the SBA, the different scores and the small business development centers and the business assistance centers that you have with your chambers as well. And I would see help them to help you to write a business plan so you can get a strategy in place. You may want to look at working with Dallas ISD to try to see if you can get a business mentor that's out there that you
Very
can be
nice.
partnering with to help you to grow your company and have a knowledge base. So if you're already a business and you're looking to now pursue opportunities with Dallas ISD, first and foremost, I would say register as a vendor with us. Set up an individual appointment on our MWBE team so that we can talk about you specifically and your business, and we can see how we can put together a strategy so that we can help you in order to help us. So there are different ways to look at that. We can do workshops designed towards companies that are just looking to learn more. So we can work to help all companies, I believe, regardless of their length of years in the business, startups, thinking about starting a business, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. That's a win-win. Yes. Thank you. Cherrie?
I think all of those are really great ideas. And I think Annie, asked a perfect question. Is it a concept or is it a business? And the first place I would start if I were a new business, I would go over to the Bill Priest Center. I mean, they have so many resources, free resources for small businesses. I would go to the Bill Priest Center and register for as many classes that I could to find out, like Annie was saying, how do you develop a business plan before they pay, a dime for anything, figure out what resources that they can get for free. And I mentioned, Susan, one of the very important things about construction and architectural engineering companies is their contracts. They really need to understand how to create a contract between whether it's an owner or whether it's a prime. They need to understand and make sure that their contract language is is ready to actually work with a business. So I would suggest the Bill Priest Institute and any webinar, anything by the Small Business Administration.
Right.
I would also suggest that they join or visit the American Institute of Architects, the local chapter here, and hopefully find a mentor, an architectural engineering company that's a little further down the road than they are, to talk about, what entities they might target, to talk about where they might start, but to really maybe shadow one of those larger architectural engineering firms before they, before they might go out and maybe perhaps make a misstep by signing an agreement that they're really not ready to deliver on.
Wow.
So those are some
Very
suggestions.
good. Very great advice from both of you. Thank you. So I have a question here from the audience. It's from Neha. The question is from our past chairwoman, by the way. Cherrie, this is for you. How do we have access to opportunities or get access to opportunities that are under 25,000 or under 50,000?
That are under 25,000 or under 50,000, and what, I'm not sure what type of company that she has.
Specifically, I would imagine it's probably technical consulting.
Okay, so opportunities that are under that amount would be advertised on our website, and they would actually go to our website, and I can't see the tab right now, but that information would show Another way that they could get access to those opportunities is to register on our website. And like I had mentioned before, when they put in their NACE codes, add 99 as a NACE code, and they will receive all opportunities.
Wonderful. You guys have given us an abundance of information. I know we're going to have some more as time progresses in the future, but this is a great start to our relationship with you will always continue. But thank you, both of you, for being here today and answering the questions from our audience and participating in this panel discussion. If I don't have anything else today to ask you, but do you have any last comments before we close the session?
Yes, I would like to encourage everyone to pursue opportunities with Dallas ISD. And again, one of the best recommendations that I can give you is that if you have not already registered, please visit our website at dallasisd.org and then look for our iSupplier. And then you can register as a vendor with the district. First and foremost, once you're registered, they will send you notification of all the business opportunities within Dallas ISD. And also I will provide my contact information within the chat feature. If there is anything that I can do for any of you all in the future, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can reach me directly or always go through the chamber as well. And I would like to personally thank Susan as well as Divya for actually affording us this opportunity to speak with their members.
Always.
Yeah, in closing, I would just like to say, definitely, this is a great start. I appreciate everybody who's joined the call. I will put my contact information in the chat as well. And if anybody is, working on starting their business, I think Annie gave some great suggestions. The Bill Priest Institute and the SBA, their website, they're just excellent resources on how to start a business. And then I would encourage anyone to, I do this all the time. I go on LinkedIn. If it's somebody I want to know, or if it's something I want to learn about, I go on LinkedIn and I find somebody with those, characteristics or skills, and then I will send them a note. And then often just see if they'll have a 5-minute conversation with me, so I'll learn about anything. And so I would encourage your members to do that as well. If there's a larger architectural engineering firm that they're interested in, like, hey, I want my firm to grow to this size. Mm-hmm. Just to try and see if somebody will, follow up and call them back and just have a conversation. So, yeah.
We appreciate the encouraging words. It's just it's about taking that first step and actually, doing it, making a phone call, making that first step is always a big move, right? But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and close and thank the both of you for coming. But the vaccine is here. We're all getting our shots as scheduled, and hopefully pretty soon we'll be able to see each other in person, of course, and maybe do some networking events and all that. And next time maybe we do our next MWBE doing business with event in person, so we get to have some more intimate conversations with our audience and ask some more detailed questions. But I am so ready to get out of this little box right here and actually see you all next time. But on that note, I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful day, and we will continue this conversation next time. So to all of you out there, thank you for joining us today and taking the time to actually visit with our partners, Cherrie and Annie, with Parkland and DISD MWBE programs. Good day and have a wonderful rest of the week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.